Oh, hello, welcome to the enchanted kingdom of Hermione. We're up here in the turret of pleasure once again, and this beer sat in my fridge for 3 weeks. That's how sick I've been with COVID and then with something called an SVT, which was not so bad except for when they gave me the ketamine. So it's been a little bit of a rough week, but I'm back in the saddle. And I've been watching, what's his name? His challenges, his 10 records that nobody else in the VC has. And I thought this is really great because I'm old enough to remember when VC meant Viet Cong. So this is going to be 10 records that nobody in the Viet Cong has. But apparently it means vinyl community. So it will also apply to the vinyl community. And some of these things I thought nobody's got this. And I looked them up on good old Discogs. Sure enough, there's like 10 of them on there. Sometimes they're not even worth anything. So I was like, okay, well, this is going to be there's going to be a scale here. And the scale is going to be like 1 to 10. 1 is you don't have there's no other copy of this. So a 1 is like unique. A 10 is, yeah, there's probably copies of this, but why the hell would you have a copy of it? What are you, nuts? So there you go. We're going to rate them, we'll do them roughly in 1 to 10s, but we can deviate. So number 1, okay, this is for my friends who are in the band No Means No. And what we got here is Alternative Tentacles test pressings for Small Parts Isolated and Ignored. I think I've got 2 copies of it. Talk about an embarrassment of riches. One of these is almost certainly Andy Kerr's. Let's see. Virus 63B. There you go. So Virus 63. One of them has a lyric sheet in it. Which has a great little poster. Isn't that neat? Sex Mad, 10 new songs. So this is the Sex Mad insert, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, Andy moved to Amsterdam and left a lot of his stuff with me. And this is almost certainly one of them. And there you go. I doubt very much there's another test pressing of Small Parts Isolated and Ignored out there in the multiverse, in the vinyl community. Next, this is unique. Of course it is. This is my dear friend Eugene Chadbourne and the pianist Casey Sokol from Toronto. And Casey Sokol was in the CCMC, which is a free improvising troupe from Toronto. And this is on Music Gallery Editions, which is a really cool label out of Toronto. Made almost no records. This is number 9. And side 1 is a duo, followed by a piano solo. Side 2 is a guitar solo, followed by a duo. And why is this unique? I got this at A&B Sound a million years ago for $2. But the first time he visited, Mr. Chadbourne deigned to sign it for me. And great fusion jazz. We were talking about mid-70s Miles Davis. And this was the beginning of a friendship that persists to this day. He was just here visiting and recording with us. So there's no other copies of that. That's a 1. This one, this is about a 3, I think. I don't know if anybody else has the Frog Pond. Now, I found this, as always, Droll Yankees, 1969, Providence, Rhode Island. There is nothing with this record except a really great label. Somebody went to a lot of trouble on this label. The cover is actually stuck on a regular cover, so it's kind of cheap. And it says on this side the sounds alone. One of Droll Yankees' pictures and sound. All you get is the sounds. On this side, sounds and conversation between Lawrence and Peter Gillam. You get the same thing, except they're talking over it, telling you what they're hearing. I found this record absolutely adorable when I first heard it. I can't believe I paid $0.25 for it. And I actually did a piece in a musical piece where I simply played this record and did an improvisatory guitar solo using a crazy arpeggiator thing, which ended up being a really good piece, which I stuck on one of my solo records. And so I have a very fond memory of this record, but there you go. That's probably about a 3. All right, what do we got here? This is number 4. Number 4, I'm going to give this, well, you might have this. I mean, why? You're going to throw this away if you find this at a dollar store? Come on. This is hysterical. It is the height of McCarthyism. A little bit of water damage, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? I didn't bother looking this one up on Discogs. Who knows what it's worth? Maybe a fortune. Key Records of California. Carl Prussian won't bore you with generalities. No, sir. He assumes that you are aware of the communist menace, and unless you are a Soviet agent, as all communists are, or one of the dupes into whose hands some of these records sometimes fall, you are prepared to fight communism. To fight it, you must know something of the nature of the enemy in your own community. By God, Carl. Carl Prussian. That's a good name. Oh, boy. The ideal place to learn, that is right inside a communist cell. Holy smoke. Anyways, this is great. $5.95. That tells me this is rough. This is probably after McCarthy. Oh, dear. What's this? Is there stuff in it? I never knew. What does it say? Wow! Never saw this before, folks. I've had this record 20 years. Dear friend, many of us have uncomfortable feelings about the advance of socialism and capital C communism. Most of us lack information as to what socialism is, what communism is, and how the two are related. From time to time, we hear someone protest against communism in Canada, but rarely are we informed as to how it works, where it works, if it is a danger to Canadians. So this appears to be a cover letter sent to somebody. This is an American record. There ain't no two ways about that. But this appears to have been sent to somebody in Canada with the... oh, no, wait a minute. No, I am wrong. Wrong! Solo Canadian Distributors, L&M Records, Box 1412, Calgary to Alberta. I gotta mail them a postcard. Reenactment of actual cell meeting. Now, my Marxist-Leninist reggae band, The People's War, recorded an album where we actually used some of Comrade Ed, as he is known, on this record. And we did a song using him as a basis for a sort of a dub thing that we did. And it worked out really well. And it's just so great. So, this I'm going to say is about a 5. You probably don't have this because unless you are sort of a nut like me, you've got no reason to own this. Or if you're some kind of turntablist like I sort of am. Okay, what's next? We got, oh boy, Born to Trouble. Again, I've used this for stuff. BBC, so there's probably a few copies of this kicking around. Mono, The Recorded Testimony of a Psychopath. Now, I'm willing to bet, what year is this thing now? 65. I'm willing to bet that a whole lot of the stuff that is put forth in this recording has been proven since to be hokum. But look at that label. What's not to love, eh? And, The Recorded Testimony of a Psychopath. Of course you want to hear it. I can't remember what the hell I used it for. I did use it for a song once. I probably played it with a couple of other records. There's apparently a book, but this apparently... this is the one. I can't figure what their market, who they were aiming this at. I don't know if these were DJ. It doesn't say DJ only or anything. And it's, I've never seen this label before. Radio Enterprises. Anyways, you don't have this. I have it. You don't have it. Maybe you have it. I doubt it. Okay, now we're getting into some great territory here. Now, you might have this. This is about a 6. Yorkshire Records. Yorkshire Records is the absolute worst fucking record label in the world. It was just pure, like their classical records are pure shit. And and words fail me. This is The Sounds of Love, A to Z, which I don't really know what that means. Does that mean from anal to sleeping? I don't know. At any rate, there's the cover. Now, nerds will know that that's an ARP 2500 synth back there. That's worth a gazillion dollars nowadays. It's rarer than NC. And meanwhile, the fellow in the foreground, who I'm going to bet money is the guy that operated that ARP 2500, which he probably mortgaged his mom's house to buy. He is the brainiac behind all this, and that's probably his girlfriend. Photos by Lisa Condon, produced by Warp Productions, Copley Record Productions. Apologies to my friend Doug Copley. And now here's the thing. So what is it, you say? Well, what it is it's basically things like Bolero. Look at that fucking label. This is just shit. It's Bolero and Mozart's, Elvira or Mirtigan or whatever. Scented Wind, Ravel Pavan. Oh, Fred Miller. Yeah, right. There's 3 originals. I forgot. Fred himself does, in fact, write these terrible songs. But there's moaning and groaning and sex noises on top of it. And it's really, really amateurishly done. It's fucking awful. I'll bet it. I'm going to look it up. I should have looked it up earlier. I'll bet it's worth a fortune. Yeah, we'll find out about this one. But it's terrible. It's just, it's the lamest possible effort. It's just, here's $200, make me a fuck record. Okay. All right, next we have, and we're getting into territory that's near and dear to me, Sales Records. Now, I'm not sure. This is, again, mid-60s. Caching objections. Professional methods for overcoming the following objections. It costs too much. I want to talk it over with someone else. I need it sooner than you can deliver it to me. I wonder how they do that one. I don't like your firm. That one's going to be tough. I think you're an asshole. How to solve, J. Douglas Edward, one of America's foremost sales and marketing consultants. I don't even think I've played this record, now that I think of it. You don't have it. Maybe you do if you're in England. What I think is neat, custom manufactured by CBS. Now, this was common on both sides of the Atlantic, it appears. I'm not familiar enough with CBS UK fonts, but yeah, when you're manufactured by CBS. So this is basically a Columbia record, made, or at least made at their plant, under their auspices. And these are great because in the 60s, you could go to CBS usually, or RCA, they were the 2 big ones. And you could say, look, my air conditioning company we want to make a record that we can use as sort of a promotional thing where, send in a coupon, we'll send you this record. It's got some music on it that people are likely to want to listen to. What kind of music would you like, Mr. Air Conditioner? Well, we were thinking, maybe a little bit of big band, some swing. Okay, great. They throw together a compilation, and they put it out under the auspices of Joe's Air Conditioning. The best one, and I'm frustrated, I couldn't find it, it's not worth a goddamn thing either, but there was one that they made in Canada, the Anasol Corporation, manufacturers of hemorrhoid cream, made a promotional record where I'm sure the conversation was something like, hi, CBS, we need to make a record to promote our product. Sure, what kind of music would you like to use? We'd like some classical music. Okay. What kind? Well, I don't know, violin maybe? Okay, well, we have a couple of violin concertos you can have with Heifetz and whomever. Okay, that sounds great. Now, what's the name of your company? Anasol? Anasol. What is your product? Hemorrhoid cream. Now they got to come up with a cover. And the cover is great. It's basically black and white. It's got to be cheap, right? So black silhouette of a guy sitting on a stool holding a violin, and he's obviously in some discomfort. And then there's a little orange pillow under his bottom. And that's for the first strength Anasol. The second strength needless to say, has 2 pillows. And the third one, he's looking great. He's got the 3 pillows. It's an amazing record. I've run into lots of copies of it. I can't find my copy. It's probably filed under Mendelssohn, I just thought. At any rate, caching objections, yeah, okay. I don't know, that's probably a 5. Okay, we're back to it. This is a 1. I got a bunch of these. I'm only going to show one because I can only really show one. That's the rule. Home Premium does. Yes, like all record collectors, don't lie. You've all got a couple of acetates that you're like, I can't throw it away. And I have a bunch of these, and they're just fucking great fun. Recorded 1956, 1957. Bonus announcements. These are all One Man's Family. Oh, what's this writing at the top? One Man's Family, When a Girl Marries. This one. That's the does. That's the premium does. You get a terry cloth towel. Now, the thing I can't really figure out is there's 4 tracks on this. You know it's an acetate because there's all these fucking extra holes in the back of it. It's only one-sided. But they're basically 4 1-minute ads that sound to me identical. And I'm not... Once is announcement 1, once is announcement 2. So I didn't go over it with a fine-tooth comb. There's probably a tiny variation. And don't ask me whether there's 2, but there is. And this is probably the only one of these that exists, I'm going to guess. And same with these other ones. I don't know what they are, but I've got a lot more, but I only bought these 3 because I wanted to actually play one and see what the hell it was. Now, while we're talking about companies that make promotional records, I've got a few. We got the Hemorrhoid one. I've got a Hush. Where's that? There's a Hush Puppy one. I guess this isn't part of my 10. Don't penalize me. But I was going to talk about the Hush Puppy one, which side 1 is them talking about hush puppies, and side 2 is a bunch of really awful Hawaiian music. But this one, I had to use this one. There's so many to choose from. It was very difficult. This one, it's easy to miss. Barrett Prevents, They're the Top. And I know you go, so what? Barrett Prevents, They're the Top. This is an RC produced expressly for Allied Chemical by RCA. And this is exactly what I was talking about before. Side 1, You're the Top by Cole Porter. How Deep is the Ocean by Ethel Merman. Mimi by Maurice Chevalier. It's a great big grab bag of basically Rhapsody in Blue, you know. And Barrett, it sort of takes a minute to figure this out. Okay, so you got Barrett Presents. They're the Top. There's a thing, Barrett. Okay, great. Barrett Presents. What the hell? And then you look at the bottom, Allied Chemical and Barrett Building Materials. Oh, okay, Barrett. Okay. So you open it up and suddenly it's like we're talking about building materials here. Yes, 1 + 1 = 4 with Barrett Bond Ply. Now, if you are like me, you don't have the fucking foggiest idea what's going on here. And you're kind of like, okay, I've got a record. Let's see, there's a record here. And that record is on the hideously delightful old Canadian silver on black, unbelievably cheap RCA record label in mono. I'm going to guess this is from about 64 or so. Looks like early 60s. It's mono. But that's not the best part of this one. No, sir. Because of the other open thing. And this must have cost them money. Pull here. Now, I don't know what you were supposed to pull it. Maybe it's missing. But there's a whole bunch of stuff inside. And it's in a little slip case here. And we were really laughing at this. So, you know, straight into your 3-ring binder goes the Allied Chemical Good Roofing Practice Code. And there is, index, addendum, asphalt. You know, my roofing friends, Tolan McNeil, I swore I was going to give this to him because he has been a roofer for a while. And get this. I mean, this is great. I'm so tempted to mail these in. I mean, what are you going to do? 5 cents. How much was 5 cents for a book? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. And they all say, you know, I would like further information on Barrett Bond Ply. Now, what the fuck is Barrett Bond Ply? You know what? I don't know. But apparently, here's a piece of it. It comes in the record. This is great. I just fucking howled when I found this. Yes, was this a quarter? You bet it was. And nobody, like, you look at it, you go, what the fuck is this? And what it is, it's a ridiculous attempt to make a promotional thing for a shingle company, I'm assuming. I don't know, Barrett. They're the top. That's our joke, you know. We're a roofing company. Ho, 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 ho. Anyway, this is a treasured possession. And one day I'm going to read. Look, it's in French, too. It's just in case. There you go. That whole side's in French. Because, of course, this is Canadian, and we have 2 official languages. And like all good corporate citizens, oh, they didn't do the liner notes in French. Okay, maybe they're not that good. Anyways, yeah, 2 official languages. Now, 2 official languages. Well, you should be Switzerland. Switzerland has 4 official languages. They have French in the east, they have Italian in the south, they have French in the west, Italian in the south, Romansh in the east, and the north and the central they have German. And during a sojourn to a thrift store, I found this, and this was hysterical because this was a thrift store who were fabulous because records were 25 cents. And their solution when they got too many friggin' records in was to simply have a half price sale. And so and they had all kinds of weird, crazy stuff, you know, very little of which was worth $5, but every man jack of which was 25 cents. And I bought a lot of records there for 25 cents. And, you know, I'd end up rupturing myself buying $5 of the records. And one fine day, they were overloaded. They had a half price sale on. And they had this weird thing where every record was counted as 1. Didn't matter if you had a box set with an opera in it or whatever. Everything is 1. And so one day I walked in and I found this. And I don't know how good your German is. Mine is not excellent. And I sort of looked and what the fuck is this? And I looked and I noticed it's on the Ex Libris label. And this I do know. Ex Libris makes really good records. They are mostly, I believe, classical. I believe they use a lot of local performers in Switzerland. And their pressings are the greatest fucking pressings ever. Fabulous. Swiss non-DMM pressings. There is no better pressing. So I went, you know, okay, does this count as 1? Yes, and they're half price. This was 12 cents. Now there are 12 records in this. And I thought, you know what? I mean, it's nuts. I don't speak German. Why am I buying this? Well, because it's so goddamn cool. And it's like, okay, here you've got the Zurich region. And, you know, it's like, and only the Swiss. I mean, the Swiss, I admire them in so many ways. There's the Jura region. I didn't know half of this. Inner Schweiz, Ostschweiz. And they're mostly, I do believe, if I remember correctly. Now, here's the really funny thing. When I bought this, I had a roommate living with me who happened to be a Swiss guy. And so he's like, what the heck is this? Where did you find this? Aargau, Luzern, look at these things. Beautifully laid out. I can't believe the Swiss government didn't have a hand in this. Does it have the date? I don't know when the date is. And I played a bunch of these. There's some songs, all in German, but this vinyl, this is the best vinyl ever made. I don't care what anybody says. This is the apotheosis of the vinyl format. And yes, all they're doing is talking in various Swiss dialects of German for the most part. So you gotta wonder. Now, though, here's the really funny part. There's 4 of these on Discogs. And anyways, yeah. So it's apparently a kind of a educational, cultural thing to cover all the bases about what makes Schweizer Mundart is Swiss dialects. So there you go. And there you have it. There's my 10. I'm going to do more. I'm going to do 10 CDs. And to hell with the vinyl community. And I might do 10 7-inches. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching. This has been fun. I have ruptured myself doing it, but whatever. And we'll talk to you later and take care of everybody else. Be good to each other. Thanks. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. I've been off for a while, so you might think I've died or something. Bye.